Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today as the ranking member of the House Veterans Affairs Committee, as the co-chair of the National Guard and Reserve Caucus, as the co-chair of the Veterans Jobs Caucus, and probably more importantly, as a retired enlisted soldier, to bring to your attention a number of provisions in the GOP tax bill that will negatively impact the men and women currently serving and transitioning in the United States military. I want to be clear, tax reform is a laudable goal. It would have been nice had we actually done it, had we actually had debates, had we actually had witnesses. 0, 0, 0. What we have is a closed-door bill brought forward, foisted upon the House with the, in my opinion, trying to think that the American people would not watch what happens here is pretty risky. These are folks in the military who risked everything to give us the right to debate things here. We should at least probably debate their future in an open manner. I hope you'll strongly consider, Mr. Speakers, each of these following provisions in this bill that will put the prosperity of America's heroes at risk. As the legislation is written, this tax plan includes provisions that will specifically harm members of veterans to help pay for tax cuts for corporations and the ultra-wealthy. How can you justify giving a tax cut for carrying interest but not for carrying a rucksack? That's what this vote will be today. Be very clear about this. When you cast your yes vote, you're being very clear. First thing it does, it repeals tax credits proven to help veterans find employment when they come home, such as the repeal of the Work Opportunity Tax Credit, which includes the Hiring Our Hero Act. This credit is available to employers who hire veterans who have a service-connected disability, are unemployed, or receive SNAP benefits. Between 2013 and 2015, Work Opportunity Tax Credit hired nearly 300,000 veterans for employment. But again, don't take my word for it. The people who are telling you do not do this are this list: the Air Force Sergeants Association, the United States Air Force Association, AMVETS, Army Aviators, Association of the United States Army, Enlisted Association of the National Guard, Gold Star Wives of America, Jewish War Veterans, Marine Corps League, Iraq and Afghanistan veterans. The list goes on and on to include the Vietnam Veterans of America and the Veterans of Foreign War. They are telling you, if you vote yes, you are hurting the opportunities of America's veterans. The GOP tax bill also repeals the Disabled Access Tax Credit. Simply allows small businesses to claim a tax expenditure when they make their buildings more accessible for people with disabilities. Its elimination will discourage small businesses from making their workplaces accessible and friendly to those disabled veterans. Mr. Chairman, by eliminating the deduction for interest payments on student loan, the GOP tax bill will make education even more expensive or out of reach of our veterans. While the GI Bill pays a portion of it, it does not pay it all. A large percentage of veterans also rely on student loans. This will hurt many veterans who rely on that to make school work. This bill will make it more expensive for military families to sell their homes. How wrong is that? The bill requires a homeowner to have owned and lived in a home for at least 5 years of the last 8 years to get a tax exemption on the money made from the sale of their home. No one serves in one location that long. No exemption was written in it. Had it been brought to the floor, we would have offered an amendment. And I bet you money my Republican colleagues would have accepted it. They didn't get that chance because somebody wrote it for them and passed it down here and going to tell them to vote yes on it. That's simply wrong. I don't question their commitment to veterans. I question the way they wrote this bill. That's real life. These things will really happen, and it's verified by all kinds of outside sources. By repealing the medical expense deduction, the GOP tax bill hurt veterans struggling for costly medical bills. Most veterans aren't in the VA. Most veterans don't qualify for the VA because they make more money than the threshold, or they're not disabled to the point where they get there. So most of them receive their health benefits through their employer. But when those expenses get too great, one of the things we have in current tax law is they're allowed to deduct those expenses. They're taking that away. When you vote yes today, you're taking that away and giving billionaires a tax break. Once again, it's going to be a choice. It's very simple, yes or no. Green light, red light. You'll be able to decide on that. This hurts veterans. By prioritizing corporations and the ultra-wealthy over the middle class, they're directly harming veterans. And be very clear, veterans' median income is $37,466. They are not going to see savings from this bill. If they are a disabled veteran or have a child going to college, they will pay more so that a very few of us can get a tax break. deducts, corporations, by the way, can deduct state and local taxes. Veterans
Gentleman's time is expired.
Corporation can deduct property tax. Is that my time? Boy, that went fast. There's a lot more in here that's bad. Let me tell you on this. Bring this back to the floor. Work with us. Protect America's heroes. Do what's right. I yield back.